Hello guys, welcome back. So this is Roxy's Journal of Stitchery volume 8, and this is going to be me filming prompt number 4, which is Old Quilt. So before I start on that, I just wanted to show you where I'm at with my prompt 3, which was favourite fabric. So this is this one finished now. So I made a wonky-ish log cabin using scraps that I have of Liberty Tarn and Lawn fabrics. I stitched that all by hand together, and then I've attached it down to my base, which is an old pillowcase with it's got the wadding on the back. And then before I did that, before I stitched it to the base, I canthus stitched the log cabin panel that I made onto this pillowcase bottom. I didn't do it through the wadding, I just did it through the fabric. So, but I'm really happy with that. I really love it. And then I kind of went around the edge. I really love that kind of crinkle effect you get with canthus stitching. It's so nice. And I used different colours, different shades of pink, or any of the colours that are in the patch. So there's kind of corals, pinks, there's like this beautiful I don't know, ivory maybe. It's not ivory, it's more of an ecru colour, and a very pale pink. So I've used different shades to just go over each panel, so each panel is distinctive more by the stitch as well as the colour itself and the pattern. So I just wanted to show you that before I move on to the next prompt, which is the old quilt. So I haven't really got any old quilts as such, but this is a panel that I made up for a project that I was going to start doing, and I decided that I'm not going to go ahead with it. So I'm going to possibly use this one because the colours kind of tie in quite nicely with, you know, all the colours that I've been using so far, like with my palette. So I think I might use this one. There's also an option of using these pieces which I'd made up before, again not with any particular project in mind, but I just wanted to use up these Tilda fabrics. So these are all from the same set, and the solids are Tilda as well, but they're not from the set. It's just the pattern ones are all from the same fabric family. I can't remember the name of the collection, but this is another option to use these. But what I'm thinking with these is that initially at the very beginning I did say that I didn't really want to have any blues or any sort of those kind of colours in there, and there's quite a lot of blue in this and quite a lot of purple. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with this one because this is the one that feels more kind of in the theme of in terms of colour. So the thing that I need to decide is what backing to put that on. So what I'm thinking is probably one of these two. So I've got this one that I've made up. See that? So I may, you know, I could put it like either in the middle or do it offside. That's one option. And then another option would be this one. I think it's quite plain. It sort of lends itself to. But then I feel like the green kind of just blends in the background of that. It doesn't massively stand out, which I suppose in a way is a good thing because it kind of breaks up the quilt. So you've got more of a flower there, and then I suppose that's quite, makes it a bit more interesting rather than a definitive like larger hexagon piece. Yeah, maybe I quite like that idea actually, the way it kind of blends in a bit. What other options have we got? There's also this one, but I don't think this one. It kind of brightens things up a bit. But yeah, I'm not sure. Things always look different on camera, don't they? It's quite funny because when I watch these videos back myself, I sort of feel like it really helps me make decisions when I can see what's going on. You sort of see it from a different perspective, I think. I don't really want to be covering that up. I suppose I could have I could break this up a bit so it's, you know, I don't have to use it in full as it is. That could be an option maybe. So I could sort of have, you know, have some of it and then cut that off and then have another bit here so it's kind of more deconstructed. That's quite a nice idea as well. Oh, decisions. So what I'm going to do while I'm here talking to you is I'm just going to start taking these pieces out from my English paper piecing. Do you guys like doing English paper piecing? It's one of the things I really love. I really enjoy stitching by hand. I do have a machine. In fact, I've got several sewing machines. But I just enjoy the tactileness of like sewing by hand, and the fact that it's slow and mindful, and you know, you're not sort of I don't know, I just prefer like hands-on things, which is why I'm so anti-AI. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I just don't like it at all. It just seems like you can make anything now from, you know, and you just don't know if things are real anymore. Like, you know, this whole idea of like your ideas being taken by this technology and repurposed into something else. I don't know. I just feel like I will never stop making by hand. And, you know, even like sewing by machine, that's kind of making by hand. I don't like the way things get like mass produced. And I used to work in the fashion industry. I was a garment designer, and it's, you know, even sort of seeing things produced en masse, it's like, oh, it's just not my world anymore at all. I just love individual one-off pieces. When I was designing and making bridal wear, flower girl dresses and bridal accessories, everything that I made was a one-off. I never ever made the same thing twice. Everything was unique. Everything was kind of evolved organically, and I just really like that. That's just the way I like to work. It's what I appreciate, and I just think when you've got like something that's a one-off, it can't really be copied, and I really like that idea. I hate when people copy other people, or at least when they don't give credit where they've got their source or ideas from. I know sometimes I was saying that I feel like I get ideas and they've not really come from anywhere apart from what I'd say like through my creative spirit. I feel like I have a dialogue with my soul, and it, you know, kind of speaks to me, and I'm just the physical human that's putting that into manifestation. But sometimes I feel like I have ideas that come through me that need to be executed, and it's not that I've got the idea from another person. If I have personally got that idea from another person, I'll always credit them. I think it's really important to do that. I hate when you see people sharing things online as if it's their own, and it's clearly not their own, it's from somewhere else. And I know we don't always know the original source of something, particularly photos, pictures, paintings, things like that. But I feel like it's pretty easy nowadays to find out where something is from, because if you have an image of something, you can just put it into Google search, search it by the image, and it will show you like multiple sources of where that's come from. So it's quite easy to find, you know, where you've got your picture from. If you say, oh, I don't know where that's from, it's quite easy to find out, really. I know sometimes it's not possible, especially when it's like old and vintage and maybe like you know, when things were recorded in the way that they are now. But yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm ranting a bit online this morning. I'm sorry as well if I sound a bit croaky. I've got I'm not sure if I'm coming down with something like a cold. I've been feeling it for a few weeks on and off, and it's just not turned into anything, but I'm really feeling, don't know if it's hay fevery, I'm not sure, but feeling a bit chesty, so I don't know, we'll see. But how are you? How are you getting on with your project? If you're doing this volume 8, Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, I'd love to know how you're getting on. I know that I'm in real time, I'm a little bit behind. The prompt 6 was actually released yesterday, so today is the 25th of August. It's Bank Holiday Monday in the UK, and yesterday was, yeah, prompt 6 was released. So this is prompt 4, but I know kind of what I'm doing with the prompts, so and I don't think they're going to take me too long really. This one I'm literally going to stitch this down, so it's not going to be too time consuming. I really enjoyed doing the let's have a look, what have I done with it? How am I lost that? I really enjoyed the one that I did last week anyway, where I did the log cabin. I really enjoyed doing that one. I think that's the kind of thing that is very me, is like canvas stitching, that kind of technique. I love like patching different fabrics together. I think it just looks so interesting, and like texturally wise, it's really quite sensory as well, so I really enjoy that. But yeah, so as I say, I haven't really got any old quilts that I want to cut up for this, so I think I'm going to use this one. And my thoughts are that it will either be on this one, because I do actually quite like the way that blends out into the background, and it sort of breaks up the construction of the hexagon. The other one that I'm really liking the idea of is actually this one, and cutting this up so that maybe some of this is like off the edge like that, and then I can use the other bit maybe down here so it's kind of like off center. I think that would be quite nice actually. So, and it's quite nice that it's got this, you know, the embroidery already on there, and also this lacy detail. I quite like that idea. Just gives it a bit more interest rather than it just being a, you know, large hexagon piece that's just plonked in the middle of a piece of fabric. There's nothing wrong with that. I do like that idea as well, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I think I'm going to leave it there for now, for today, and then what I'll do is I'll make my decision on which block I'm going to put it on. I'm thinking this one actually, break it up so I've got part of it here and then part of it here. I'll get that stitched on, and then what I'll do is when I record my next the next episode for prompt 5, I'll show you how this turned out before I go into the next one. So it's lovely to have you here again, guys. Thank you so much for your comments and, you know, liking my videos and interacting with me. I really appreciate it, and I'm really enjoying it as well. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care for now. Bye.